today I want to explore with you the role of thoughts in tennis. Thoughts overall, they play a major role in whatever we do. There's always a stream of thoughts going on, and when we grow up, nobody tells us what thoughts are and how we can deal with them and so on. But in tennis, we realize, especially when we're in a close situation or when we need to play the best, we realize that thoughts sometimes they can hinder us from playing as good as we can, or they can help us to come out of a situation and so on. So thoughts play a major role in how we feel on the court and what we do. But nobody tells us ever how we can use thoughts, or how we can use the understanding of thoughts or mindfulness to play the best that we can. So we want to explore that a bit. So thoughts, as I said, is a stream of thoughts always going on. And we have a choice between going into the stream non-stop and being stuck to it, which is actually the behavior that is usually going on if we are not aware or mindful of thoughts. Or we can just let the thought stream be its thought stream and just be present and observe it, like, for instance, like clouds are in the skies, and we can just see how a thought comes and goes again. But with our involvement, if a thought comes and we go involve ourselves and go into it and more and more and more and continue going into this thought, and worries come and so on, and it can hinder us from doing something. So yeah, thoughts on a tennis court. So like people say, for instance, oh yeah, if you only have positive thoughts, everything will be good. So as soon as you have negative thoughts, just think of something positive and it will go all good. Or people think, just don't think anything of the tennis court and it will go all good. But how do you do those things? And is it actually something that's useful? So one other thing is about thoughts is, like, if we think about something positive, or if we have a positive thought, automatically our body and mind, it feels better, right? It feels more positive. If I think about a beach, or about, I don't know, my favorite ice cream or whatever, in a relaxed state, I feel automatically more relaxed. However, for instance, if someone, let's say, is very nervous in a tournament, or I don't know, to hit a certain stroke or be in a certain score with someone, then many times realize, okay, even if I think something very positive, still I may feel a bit better in that moment, but it's still not feeling very well, because thoughts, of course, they're very important, but they're only part of the whole body-mind system that we have. So even if we think, let's say, even there's an extreme situation where we're nervous or we really want to win or whatever, and we try to think positively, it doesn't help us all the way to calm fully down. So that tells us that there's also things beyond thoughts, of course. So the body memorizes everything. So if there's a conditioning of the body going on that becomes nervous or fearful of something, then it stays. So we have to go deeper into that, which we cover in some other videos. But today we stay with thoughts, so they are quite powerful as well. So if you look at thoughts overall, nobody has full control of thoughts, right? So if I ask you what did you think, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, all the thought streams you don't remember. Or if I ask you in 2 minutes what you're going to think, you don't know, right? Because thoughts will just happen. I mean, if I say now, I can say, okay, now I'm going to think of an apple. I can do it for some time, but at some point, other thoughts come in automatically without me fully controlling it, right? So there are some aspects of just a stream going on which I don't have control of, and there's some aspect which claims something that I have control of some times, of some certain thoughts, right? So one of the biggest difference between, I think, players that are very strong and mindful and players who are not is that the players who are mindful and mentally strong is that they're not as stuck to the thought stream as others. So I would say the more people are stuck to the thought, and the more they identify with thoughts, the more they are stuck to thoughts and almost enslaved to their thoughts. And they have a very hard time to be even aware of what they think, and also then of course change it. And those people who are a bit more mindful, and I think Djokovic also writes it in his book a bit about mindfulness. So I think, for instance, meditation helps, or just observing the thoughts and not being attached to it helps a lot to be not attached to thought, to be detached and to be more in the present moment. So for many people it may sound weird, like, but I am my thoughts, no? But if you go deep into it, you will see that there is a thought stream, but you're not necessarily your thoughts. So that helps already to create a distance between your thoughts and who you really are. And there's a certain presence and a space in which you can then find peace, find inner peace. So thoughts and peace are also closely related. And there's many exercises. As I said, I mentioned already some kind of meditation where you just observe what's going on. Maybe you can observe your breath or your thoughts in general, or you can be very mindful. Like if in anything you do, in what you on the court, off the court, you can always observe your thoughts and see. And the more you observe, the more you will see actually you're not just your thoughts, but there's something else in between. So these kind of exercises help to become more aware of thoughts and then use them as a tool. So use them as a tool if you want to think of something positive, and we usually think in pictures as well, either in words or pictures. So if we imagine something, we visualize something, how we want to play our forehand, our backhand, how we want to act in certain situations, then we can use this tool of thoughts to set up our body and mind and practice that through that visualization how we want to feel in a certain moment, and that's very powerful. And many times when people have blockages, like for instance they don't hit the backhand or they play against a certain opponent which they never win, they usually have conditionings and blockages. So with thoughts you can do something, but again there's also other aspects like body and energy and all those kind of things that also influence. So in general, as I said, that was just very quickly to explore a bit about the world of thoughts. There's many things you can do, but the most important thing is to be mindful, to be aware of the thoughts that are going on, and to create this distance to the thoughts, that we're not our thoughts. And that brings a lot of peace and in the inside a very, also a joy in a way. So that will help you to play your best tennis. Thank you.